So today we are going to talk with you, Martin, about a tool that you use in managing the operations of your team.
Yeah.
What do you call this tool?
I call it the task matrix. What I did about 10 years ago, I actually had a business coach come in, a systems coach, and he spent probably 3 or 4 months with us, and he would come in once a week. And what we did is we laid out every job that exists in the real estate business. Team structure, I think, is going to have more impact on growth this year than almost anything else.
I'm assuming you guys designed it, right? Did you come up with this tool?
Yeah. So what we call is a task matrix. And actually what I did about 10 years ago, I actually had a business coach come in, a systems coach, and he spent probably 3 or 4 months with us, and he would come in once a week. And what we did is we laid out every job that exists in the real estate business. And then we started moving, oh, this belongs over here, this belongs over here, this belongs over here, except, put this entire book together. And so we've continued to use that. And what it does, because I'm a strong believer that, team structure, I think, is going to have more impact on growth this year than almost anything else. And it allows us to have a total understanding of what everybody does and what their responsibilities are. Because what happens is there's a lot of things we do daily, but there's a lot of things that get done weekly or monthly, right? And what happens is, as you grow a team and people come and go, things just get dropped all of a sudden, right? And then all of a sudden, 3 months later, you realize, oh my gosh, anniversary cards weren't being mailed and things like that. So everybody now has at their desk a book with their task matrix, all the procedures behind it. But what's even better now, online, and I can show it to you, we have, like, for instance, if you want to pull up the one I have for my listing manager. And so what you'll see here, these are all the different tasks that she has to do. Now, this is just showing the top on the listing part, what she has to do. And what it does, it says that she has to do it daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly, or as needed. Who is her backup? Okay, so if, let's say, she's gone for a week or whatever, the listing assistant then has to step in. And then the procedure. So this means there's a procedure. Now, what we did, which makes this really effective, is you'll notice over here, all the tasks, they're a link to the procedure. So, because, we had the biggest problem in the past, like, oh my God, where's the procedure? So now all we have to do, let's say she's gone for the day, I have to learn how to, let's say, add listing questionnaire or whatever. I can click on that, procedures right there, it pops up, and I know how to do it. And so we have this for every single position in the office. And what we do on a regular basis now, we're going in at our sales meeting, we're taking one person's task matrix, and we're just going through it so the whole team knows who does what. And just gives us a refresher, like, oh my goodness, someone say, I haven't done that in 3 months or whatever. And we'll right away make sure that it goes to somebody that they're, it's covered that way. So every team member is responsible for this task matrix, and they have to look at it on a regular basis to make sure that they are not missing anything. And so it's been a wonderful way to really, really know how my business operates. And it's a very much a live, it's a living document. It changes constantly, because we're trying to be fluid with the market.
I don't know if I click on this, I don't know if it will take me there, but let's go ahead and just see what happens. Okay, so I would have to go ahead and log in. I would have to log in order to.
You'd have to log in, yeah, through my.
It's secure.
Yeah, it's secure.
Okay, very, very cool. Okay, and what's really interesting about this is that you look at this and you realize that as a listing manager, many of the tasks are as needed. They are not like regular tasks that you perform on a weekly basis. And so this position requires someone who is able to kind of walk in and, as long as they know their systems, react to the market of the moment. It's a very reactive position. Whereas when you're doing, lead generation, my guess would be that that's less reactive and more of a structured, studied drip. And so you're looking for different people.
Correct. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. The salespeople, of course, there's a lot more things like prospecting daily, follow-up daily, that type of stuff. And our virtual assistant, who does a lot of our tracking, a lot of that is very much, this happens on Monday, this happens on Wednesday, this happens monthly, this happens weekly, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff. But yeah, unfortunately, or fortunately, just what the business is, almost every admin position in real estate is pretty much reactive, right? There's a lot of proactive stuff you have to do, but it's also dependent, like, you do it when a listing comes in. Also, there's a whole series of things that have to happen, right? So it becomes as needed.
Right. And then, you would monthly check the expiration dates of the current listing, because that is something you could actually build into a regular task.
Exactly.
So let's talk about this really quick. This is, you've got some colors going on here, and I think this is a really interesting way to use this matrix. What do those colors mean?
So green means that they know, they're trained in it and they know it.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Red means that they don't know how to do it yet.
Okay.
Yellow means that they're just learning it.
Okay.
And the one thing, and this one doesn't have, but normally if you notice on the top, this is where they write the date that they were trained on it.
Okay.
But yeah, but the red is, that's what I said. That's so when I go through a task matrix, I say, oh, you know what? I know that this person does not know how to do this yet, and then I'll look and see, is there a procedure for it? And so what's happened is, for a long time we let this get a little bit sloppy. And one of my goals this year, like I said, this team structure is so important. I'm really, really going back to this heavy duty.
Yeah, and this as a model in itself could apply outside of our industry. It can apply to any kind of business.
Right.
You have all of the tasks that need to get done if you're going to raise the standard of customer
Correct.
service and sales. And so to be able to predictably see it all, identify proficiency in it, and access the procedural instructions behind it, I mean, this is all you need right here. This is amazing.
Yeah, this is my whole business model, right? And I've got this for every single position on the team.
So how do their weekly, let's talk about their weekly 411 accountability meetings. How does this document play into that, if at all?
Well, how it works more is everyone on there knows they have to take ownership of these. What it comes down to more is on our sales meetings now, what we're doing, we're taking everyone's task, and we're going through maybe about a third of one person's task matrix each sales meeting. And so what that's doing, it's allowing everyone to see, because sometimes we go, my God, they do all that, right? And they also know, because a lot of times there's confusion on a team, like, who does this? Who does the referrals? Who do I send this to? It's all spelled out very, very clearly on these documents, so you can hurry up and go to that. So
okay, so and the you bring up a great point. So I think of CRMs like Brivity, right? And they had this list of tasks that get done when someone takes a listing, and they had a client update feature. And so you could set that for weekly or daily, where your clients and any associates involved in it would get that update of, photos were taken, lockbox was placed, we advertised you on ABC website. And the beautiful thing about doing that inwardly facing as a staff is clarity is power. First off, it shows you what your responsibility is. And I even argue that, you can now then base metrics for success on this and measure performance. But also it tells you who does what, which gives clarity to who you would go to for issues. Yeah. And to boot, it demonstrates to the rest of the team the value of each player. Right. And so it almost fosters teamwork. If you can get that kind of update on the inward side of, Crystal did A through G today, and Stephanie did, 1 through 10. And so it helps you as a team really appreciate each other and what it does take to successfully.
Yeah. And what will happen sometimes too, we'll have someone say, Martin, I'm really overloaded. This, so I say, maybe we can take some of these and we can move them over here, right? But then the whole team is aware of it. So like I said, it's a living document. We're always moving tasks around based on the needs of the team at that time, right? And so that's why this only works if you use it almost daily. Because what happens, you have to learn very quickly, procedures change, right? And all of a sudden tasks move around, this person comes in and this one leaves and all that gets dropped. And if you don't stay on top of it within 3 to 4 months, it starts falling apart. So it's something you have to maintain on a very, very regular basis.
So who has the ownership over this document, the integrity of it, and making sure that people are using it appropriately?
I have the ownership of it, but everyone has access to it because they're always moving things around, right?
All right, fantastic. If someone is looking at establishing a system like this in order to ensure that processes are getting done and they know what their growth as an organizational structure needs to look like, where would you start? How did you start?
Yeah, have them email me at bouma@bouma.com, and that's BOUMA @bouma.com. I'll be more than happy to share.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Martin. I really appreciate you. I hope you guys are having a fantastic start to 2021.
Excellent. Likewise.
I expect this year will actually be better than last. So I'm really.
I agree. All right. Thanks a lot, Danielle.
Thanks.
Hey, bye-bye.